15 minutes after 7 o'clock. I guess it's appropriate to play Christmas songs as our intro music now that we're a week away from Christmas Eve. Happy Hanukkah, by the way. Today's first full day of Hanukkah.
That's right. Happy Hanukkah to all of our Jewish friends. Hanukkah. I love this. This is great.
All right, December 17th, 2014. Thank you for tuning into The Source this morning. It is 20 minutes after 7 o'clock. Gosh, I was so interested in doing that, I forgot to tell you the temperature. It is 52 degrees, 82. 52 degrees. No, 48 degrees.
Oh, okay. It is nice out there, though.
48 degrees. It must have dropped in the last half hour, huh?
Probably, yeah.
Well, we do have a cool front moving in today, so and 40s is the expected, or 40 is the expected low tonight, so...
Well, when I take Cosmo out really, really early in the morning, it seems so warm and stuff. And then maybe an hour and a half or 2 hours later, and I take him out between the sun and the dark, it feels cooler. So,
for those who don't know, Cosmo is a dog.
Yes, he is.
Just in case you think Robin is
fun.
Taking care of some guy who's not allowed to use the bathroom.
Exactly. He's got to go out in the big grass.
Takes him out into the grass.
That's right. Not in my house, you don't.
All right, we got a good show, I think, planned for today. 7:35, Dr. Stephen Malamud is coming on. He's a medical oncologist, and he's coming on to speak about the results of research discussed at the 37th San Antonio, Texas Breast Cancer Symposium. We'll find out what that's about at 7:35. After the 7:45 break, I wanted to talk about incentives in general. Yesterday, the city council decided to not go forward with a plan, a proposal, a package that included incentives to build a hotel downtown on the site that used to be the Chamber of Commerce building.
Yep.
I'm sure you all know the place I'm talking about, where the Ferris wheel it was a few years ago.
Yep, used to be there, Ferris wheel.
And I think the big thing, I mean, it sounds like a nice idea, sounds like a nice hotel,
Yeah.
but part of the deal is incentives that we, the taxpayer, pay. And I've got mixed feelings about it. So 7:45, we'll talk about it. I've always thought that it's not fair to all of the other businesses that spend all their own money to invest in their own businesses. It just doesn't seem fair that the tax money would pay for, you know.
I know. It's a private entity.
It just doesn't understand. I don't understand it. Nobody ever came to bail us out.
No.
When we had problems, and nobody ever, gave us an incentive to stay in town.
No.
Except for the private sector,
Exactly. So. No.
Anyway,
I agree with you.
7:45 is when we'll talk about that, because 7:35, obviously, we got a report on some breast cancer research. 8:35, that's when we turn off our commentary for the most part, and we simply read the news in short form. We do that each weekday, if you didn't already know. 9:05, Tim David is a professional magician.
Yep.
He's going to do magic on the radio.
Yeah, he was named the top mentalist in America.
Now, I must tell you that if you don't mind me bragging a little bit, I did magic on the radio years ago.
Yes,
I used to levitate you, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, you were successful.
And I haven't lost that touch. I haven't lost the ability to levitate you.
No.
Now, in order to do this, I have to first make sure nobody else is watching on the video.
That's right.
Because there's a secret that gets revealed. So I'm going to turn off the video.
Okay.
You'll still be able to hear us.
Okay.
And now that that's off, let me levitate you. Are you ready?
Okay, I'm ready.
And you remember what I did? I had to take the two coins and rub them together.
Yeah, I see that.
And I had this special thing I could do with them. There you go. So you're starting to lift.
Ooh.
See that?
Ooh.
You're starting to lift. See that? Isn't that scary? I know. I put you down easy. Don't worry.
Okay.
So now there you go. It's okay.
Woo,
so there's your magic on the radio.
Nice.
I've done it for years.
Back in my chair.
Been able to levitate people, and now the camera's back on. So
yeah, back in my chair.
Back safe.
Safe and sound in my chair. I like my chair. I can touch the floor now with my feet.
Laura Burns is coming out at 9:35 this morning. She's going to tell us about ways that you can get a better job. Or a job if you don't have one.
Yep, she's the best when it comes to looking for a job.
She's with Career Source, and they have a wonderful, what do you want to say, opportunity. They have a wonderful program. It's a good program for anybody looking for work. They have hooked up with some of the best employers in the community. They know about those jobs. It's the better way to do this. Don't walk into those businesses. You can't do it the old-fashioned way. You can't walk in anymore. I guess you could try.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, you could.
anyway, that's the best way to do it. 10:05 today. I'm probably going to do Christmas from the 1970s.
Okay.
Probably, but I'm not so sure because I got a couple things. I got the Christmas shoebox stories. I wanted to share some of them with you, so I might do that at 10:05 instead.
Okay.
Some touching shoebox stories. For those who've done these things, that people will package, like church groups will package things and put them in shoeboxes and send them around.
Yeah, my mom's church does it. Your mom's
You know
church
what I don't
does
understand? I don't understand why people will say, "How come you're only doing it this time of year?" But we've done this. We do something all year long. I don't.
it. That's right. You and I do
I mean,
it all
I
year
know
long.
we don't gather toys all year long, but we do. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't understand that. I don't know if it's I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's a complaint. I don't know what that is.
Yeah, because you and I do awareness
Not just
events,
us. I
we
mean,
do
the station
fundraising
is
events. Exactly. We
people
do
in
stuff
general.
for free. Yeah.
People in
we
general.
always
I
do.
mean, the Publix, any store.
Yeah.
You go to the store, you go to the grocery checkout line. They say, "Would you like to add $1?
Right.
Feed the homeless?" Yeah, sure.
Right.
You do that March, February, April. It doesn't matter what month it is.
And you go to a convenience
It's just
store.
toys.
Yeah.
I think toys only happens this time of year.
Yeah. But everything else you go to a.
Anyway, I got a couple letters like that. Say, why you only do?
Yeah.
I was thinking to myself, wait a minute, that's not fair.
Oh, no, it's not fair.
I don't want to listen.
We do it all year long.
Pointless.
Everything.
Dr. Dara P. Schuster at 10:20. Dr. Schuster is a diabetes expert and the global medical lead for Eli Lilly and Company. They're going to talk about some type 2 diabetes findings from the new Ipsos poll of people living with type 2 diabetes. Okay.
Yep. Fascinating. I can't wait.
John Fuller comes in at 10:35 to answer your legal questions. You in a legal bind? He can give you some advice about what you might do about that bind. Dr. Kit Song at 11:05. He is an orthopedic surgeon. I assume it's a he.
Yes.
And we'll be talking about what every family should know to help ensure the successful surgery when a child needs surgery.
Yeah. Very important stuff.
Yeah.
Very scary.
Dr. Robin E. Socolow.
Yep.
Well, he must have had a lot of... She must have had a lot of ribbon with her name, huh?
Maybe that's her married name, maybe.
Well, then,
I don't know.
Then he did when he was younger.
Yeah.
She's the director of gastroenterology and nutrition and an associate attending physician at New York Presbyterian Phyllis and David Komansky Weill Cornell Medical Center. Gosh, they must have a big wall to put all that on there.
I know. It's got to be absolutely
She's
huge.
coming out with one of the patients who's only identified by her first name, Nicole, and the patient has Crohn's disease. She's had it since she was 14. She's now 26 years old. Anyway, so Dr. Soklow and Nicole will be talking about 3 steps that parents can use to help manage their child's Crohn's disease.
Yeah.
All right. Fun with Joe. I got a fun idea for you and Joe.
Okay, I'm ready.
All right. Here's the premise. Santa Claus needs some help.
Okay.
So he has loaned you one of his spare sleds.
Oh.
Now you and Joe are going to be in the sled. And Santa Claus has given you directions with instructions to go to the country that you would find if you went in the directions he told you to go.
Oh, okay.
So you will start in Canada.
Joe's good at geography. I'm not so good.
And
We'll
you just
see.
have to see where you're going.
That's right.
Which country. So you'll be naming countries today as Santa Claus's helpers. Trying to bring presents around the world in a spare sled or sleigh. I never understood the difference.
I wonder what kind of reindeer we get.
Yeah, I don't know.
Are they seasoned reindeer or like
you got the
opposites?
troublemakers? I think you got the troublemakers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then when Galen is on, I found an interesting thing. There are some forms of entertainment that just take a very, very, very long time to unfold. Mm-hmm. And it sounds boring to me.
Oh.
But I'm going to tell you about the longest forms of entertainment, marathon entertainment. In some cases, they're marathon audiences, just large audiences. But for the most part, it's just long periods of time to watch a play or to listen to a concert. It's just some amazing things on there.
Oh, yeah.
Wait till you hear about some of them. They're unbelievable.
Wow. This is going to be
All right,
fun.
and let's see. The horrible stories this morning. The Sony hackers threat. This movie is supposed to be a comedy coming out Christmas Day called The Interview.
Yeah.
Are you sure? Have you heard this?
Yes, I have. I've seen the trailer for it.
No. I mean, have you heard the threat?
Oh, yes.
The Sony hackers threat. The group says it's threatening moviegoers. In an anonymous post, hackers claiming to be the guardians of peace said people who see the movie The Interview would suffer a bitter fate. And then came the line, remember the 11th of September, 2001. So they're calling off some of the press conferences. They're not so sure what they're going to do with the movie now.
Gee,
the movie is supposed to be a comedy about a plot to kill North Korean leader Kim Jong-un. We'll be right back.
Fox News Radio, I'm Carol McHugh. Security fears have scrapped tomorrow's New York premiere of a Hollywood comedy. The Interview, starring Seth Rogen and James Franco, centered around a plot to kill North Korea's Kim Jong-un. But Sony Pictures is allowing theater chains to cancel showings following a series of online threats.
The anonymous group Guardians of Peace purportedly wrote the note. It goes on to say, soon all the world will see what an awful movie Sony Pictures Entertainment has made. The world will be full of fear. Remember the 11th of September 2001. We recommend you to keep yourself distant from the places at that time.
Fox's Robert Gray in L.A. A Pennsylvania man who shot and killed his ex-wife and 5 relatives has himself been found dead.
An American flag and a Marine flag hang from the front porch of Bradley Stone's home. The front door gone and glass scattered on the porch. Stone's body was found about 200 yards from where I'm standing.
Fox Radio's Tanya J. Powers. Fox News, we report, you decide.
Fox News Early Prime, breaking down business news and its impact on your bottom line. Your World with Neil Cavuto.
That's how I do business. That's why I am business.
Bold positions and brash opinions on the topics America is buzzing about. The Five.
How do you think this will set in with the American people?
This will be the pulse of the nation.
Washington insight and political know-how from the best in the Beltway. Special report with Brett Baer.
The epicenter of the political world is here.
The #1 place for fair and balanced coverage. Fox News Channel.
What's wrong with working hard to make our lives and our kids' lives better? Nothing. At Fox Business, we don't have a problem with success. We have a very big problem with those who get in the way of it. We don't come out of the box bashing those who make money, just the politicians stealing it and the bureaucracies wasting it. We're not just sitting behind a desk. We're out in the field, on the floor, with the folks. Because when a story moves forward, so do we.
Fox Business, the power to prosper. Check your local listings.
Hey, Matt, I know Sunrise Automotive does auto stuff, but I need some tires for my truck. Can you recommend someone?
Yes, I can. We do that.
No, I mean, I need them installed and balanced and all that.
Yep, we do that.
Well, my son needed his windows tinted.
Yep, we do that.
I need my seat replaced.
Yep, we do that too.
I need a new roof line and a new spoiler and a new
Yep,
trunk.
we can even do that too.
Okay, I get it. I suppose you can also do a radio show too, huh?
Well, as a matter of fact, join me every Monday at 10 for auto repair with personal care here on The Source.
Of course you do.
News Talk 1370, WOCA invites you to discover your full business potential. News Talk Radio is the perfect environment for your advertising. WOCA's News Talk format pinpoints information-hungry, better educated, high-income adults, so use us to talk to them. Call 732-8000, 732-8000. We're Ocala News Talk Radio. News Talk 1370, WOCA.
Hey, I'm Gary. And I'm Eric. Did you know that Red Eye Radio is on WOCA The Source every night from 2 to 6 a.m. and it's live?
That's right. No tape shows here.
We know that the news doesn't sleep.
And neither do we. So we're here with you live from 2 till 6 a.m. every weekday. Call us 866-90-RED-EYE. So join me, Gary McNamara.
And me, Eric Harley, every weeknight to discuss the latest in news and entertainment.
Right here on WOCA The Source.
Good credits, bad credits. It's none of our business because we're not an auto dealer. We're not a bank. We're not your mother. We're OcalaForSale.com. Marion County's marketplace for cars, trucks, and SUVs. We've got thousands of sellers standing by to take your call. No middleman. But hurry, don't walk, don't run. Just sit down and log on to OcalaForSale.com. Prices and inventory change daily. Offer does not include dealer upcharge. Undercutting, rust-proofing, factory surcharge, or delivery fee. See website for details.
Do you have areas that have started sagging or drooping? Is what you're looking at not quite the same as it was years ago? Are there enhancements you've been putting off? Is there serious damage you need fixed? Then call on us, Damage Control Services. When your roof is sagging and the drywall is drooping after a storm, or your home just needs some enhancements, from damage repairs to new construction, Damage Control Services is here to help.
Hi, I'm Leah Caruso with Strive Rehabilitation, inviting you to join me Thursday at 11 a.m. for Health Matters. Ocala Health and Strive have teamed up to bring you the latest information on good health services available to you right here at home. This vital information will help you make informed decisions about your health. So don't forget to join me here at 11 a.m. Thursday. It's news you can use from Ocala Health, Strive, and your friends here at WOCA.
This is Joe and Patsy Martone.
Wishing you a Merry Christmas
and a Happy New Year.
From
WOCA, The Source.
Happy holidays from Life South Community Blood Centers. This is Galen Unold wishing you and yours a very Merry Christmas. Have a safe holiday, and please give blood.
Yes, it's that time of year again. Christmas Days at WOCA, and we are in the spirit of giving. What you need to do to win is call us when we ask you to, and we'll put your name in the drawing. Remember, you can only put your name in once. You may win a certificate from Pac Mail, or one from Ocala Utilities, or one from Downtown Jewelry and Pawn of Bellevue, or Dance Alive, or... So listen and put your name in, and listen to win on WOCA, The Source.
All right, 24 minutes before 8 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. Nice looking Wednesday morning, huh? It's like 52 degrees. Actually expected to get lower today, so
yeah.
I guess we got a little bit of a cool front moving in. Mm-hmm. We can't complain, though. The rest of the nation is shivering. We're just needing a sweater.
That's right.
Right. One of the greatest gifts you could get in the holiday season would be to find out from doctors that they have figured out how to cure cancer. Mm-hmm. And every time we have an interview with a doctor, I always feel like we get a little bit more good news. It gets a little bit better and a little bit better.
Yeah.
And this has got to be one of the most difficult challenges for doctors, is to figure out how to cure cancer. Dr. Stephen C. Malamud is on the phone. He's a medical oncologist in the Division of Hematology Oncology at Beth Israel Medical Center. So I assume he would be among those who might be the ones who came on the air one day to announce that there was a cure. Mm-hmm. There was a research they wanted to talk about at the 37th San Antonio, Texas Breast Cancer Symposium that highlighted the progress in treating advanced breast cancer. That was back about a week ago, I think.
Yeah.
Dr. Stephen Malamud. Good morning, doctor.
Good morning. Good morning.
How are you? Where are you?
I'm in New York. It's not exactly sweater weather here.
Well, thank you for being on the air with us today. Yeah, that would be a great gift for the holidays, wouldn't it? To find out that we had no more worries about cancer.
Well, that would be great. I wish I could be that one person to tell you that. That would be like a miracle for 2015. But I can tell you that every day and every meeting and every month and every year, new technologies, new drugs, new modalities are coming forward to make that goal somewhat more closer to grasp. And the patients can certainly take heart that there are advances taking place very, very quickly around us. In the last 15 to 20 years that I've been concentrating on breast cancer, there have been inordinate numbers of improvements in diagnosis and treatment and outcome.
And where does that progress come from? Does it come from scientists like yourself who've studied it and said, oh, this might work, and then boom, it worked a little, or something like that?
Oh, that would be great if we could just pluck something out of the air like that. It usually comes sometimes it starts purely by serendipity and by a casual observation of a reaction in a laboratory or a drug exposed in the clinic and just moving forward quickly. Now we like to think of it as more directed and focused research where we're beginning to understand more about the biological processes of the tumor, sort of like diving deep into the nucleus and into the genome and understanding how the tumor works so that now actually one size or one drug or one treatment does not really fit every tumor or every patient, but can be personalized, modified, and adapted so that you can get the best outcome for the least toxicity, and that's what it's all about.
When a woman or a man, from what we understand, is diagnosed with breast cancer and they go through the treatments, do doctors still give them a timetable as to how long they might live, or is that a thing of the past because of all the treatments that are happening now?
Well, that really always should have been a thing in the past, because doctors are not all that good at predicting that sort of thing. Even if you've seen good and bad outcomes for years and years, the patient in front of you is an individual, and the treatment is also now very much individualized, but where in the past we may have been talking in advanced breast cancer about months to years, now we are way beyond that, and to try and pinpoint that is we can be more specific in terms of more general in terms of really saying whether or not someone is curable by current definitions, and that's already a bit uncertain because we have patients that we can follow for years and years and years and years and hope to think of them as cured and then get fooled decades out. And then on the other hand, we have someone who I can see in the office and where expectations might be low, and then a new development or a new treatment and a new modality comes forward, and all of a sudden the treatment that may have only lasted in the past for 6 to 8 or 10 months is now all of a sudden 2 years, 3 years, and 4 years still working very strong. So it's a moving target, and hopefully moving in the right direction, both for the patients and for the clinician.
Did the doctors who attended the symposium that we were talking about last week, did they come back with new procedures? And would I have understood what was going on? It would have been over my head, I'm guessing, right? Can you dumb it down for me a little bit?
Actually, well, in 5 days in San Antonio, there's a lot of information presented, both at the laboratory level for physicians who are radiation oncologists, for the surgeons, for the medical oncologists such as myself. I think there were several very promising medical positions going forward, medications such as everolimus, Afinitor, which is now fairly well confirmed as a modality or a drug that had previous indications in other diseases, is now being used to augment hormone therapy in women with advanced breast cancer, and that, as in most cases, that's been used in advanced breast cancer, meaning metastatic and outside of the breast, and is now being brought forward as in a prevention mode to prevent recurrence of that disease in patients with earlier breast cancer. And that's now in clinical trial. Other modalities are moving forward in terms of diagnosis and understanding the working mechanisms of the tumor at the genome level, so that other treatments which are now available are again going forward in trials to try and interrupt those pathways where tumors get smart and avoid our drugs or are smart from the beginning. Tumors are also, they mutate and they change over time, so it could very well be that the disease that you see today, when it recurs or relapses some years later, is not exactly identical, and we're learning that too needs to be addressed, and looking at the tumor and treating based on what was there 5 years ago was probably not appropriate.
Are younger women, like in their late teens to their 30s, are more of these ladies being diagnosed with breast cancer than women in the past at those ages?
Well, I think the women under the age of 40, not so much in their teens, but in their 20s and 30s, those women who are at high risk, and the highest risk, of course, or the highest concern would be those young women who will come from families where we know that there is a genetic risk of breast cancer. Specifically, there are 2 genes out there that are called BRCA1 and BRCA2, which are very prominent in the Ashkenazi Jewish population, and we're beginning to find other population subgroups where we see those that particular genetic defect, so that family members who have a history of aunts or mothers, sisters who were diagnosed early in life or have a particular style, a particular type of breast cancer would be considered at risk and should be looked at earlier than the general population. So if you, again, subcategorize those 20s and 30-year-olds, you can certainly find women who are at greater risk. In general, I don't think that we're seeing more younger women with breast cancer, but we're becoming more attuned as to who needs to be looked at, and in that way, picking them out.
When we talk about advanced breast cancer, this is maybe a dumb question, but I'm wondering, theoretically, would there be no advanced breast cancer if women found it really, really early?
Well, there would be a lot less.
Okay.
It would not necessarily be no breast cancer, or no advanced breast cancer, because it would say sort of a strange judgment place, or a strange point, because tumors are not, their future of a particular cancer is not solely based on how big it is. The size of the tumor at diagnosis is clearly important, and that's why we advocate for mammography and screening and early diagnosis. But that's not the only part of it. A lot of what we understand now about breast cancer is the biology of that tumor. So a small tumor with a bad behaving genetic makeup can be even more problematic than a woman who's been watching a larger tumor to the point that they could feel it, but that has been more quiescent and more biologically friendly and has a lesser potential for metastasis. And that's why this tailoring and the personalization of treatment is so critical, even at the early stage, where one can make a decision in a large tumor, for instance, to go only with a very modest anti-estrogen or a hormonal therapy, while someone who presents perhaps even with a much smaller tumor but a much more aggressive characteristic, such as HER2 positivity, might need chemotherapy or some combination of treatment early up front.
Well, some phrases, some expressions I never even heard before. Yeah. I never heard HER2 before.
No.
So we're learning a lot, but it's such a short interview, and I'm sure that our listeners want to know more. So because of the fact that we've run out of time, is there a website we can direct them to, and especially doctors who might want to know more?
Well, I think, for the general public and for physicians, a good starting point would just be the National Cancer Institute website, and that's just cancer.gov.
Okay.
And if the physicians want to see, or patients for that matter want to see some of the details of what was presented in San Antonio last week, they can go to the San Antonio Breast Cancer Symposium website and
just
become a competitor. Get out there.
Just look it up.
Get out there and help.
Well, thank you for what you're doing, and if you celebrate the holidays, have a good one. Do you celebrate Hanukkah?
Have a healthy and happy, first candle last night. Have a healthy and happy New Year.
Thank you. Happy Hanukkah, and thank you for what you're doing, Doctor. You're making the world a better place.
Thank you very much.
All right, we'll take a little break. Be right back.
Who would you feed if you had 50 chicken sandwiches from Chick-fil-A? WOCA and Chick-fil-A in the Paddock Mall have teamed up to reward one organization with 50 chicken sandwiches as a way of saying thanks for the great work that organization is doing in our community. And we need your help. See, there are so many great people doing great things that we need nominations. You can nominate your own organization or any organization